Now, authorities in Burkina Faso have charged a general who led a failed coup in September with complicity in the 1987 assassination of President Thomas Sankara. Sankara's murder is one of the most high-profile killings in Africa's post-independence history. And as KTN News editor Lilian Odera reports, the charge against General Gilbert Diendere appears to represent a breakthrough in a case that has haunted the Burkina Faso for decades.
Malgré son jeune âge, son engagement politique n'est pas récent.
Thomas Sankara, seen here in a past documentary, remains an iconic figure in not only Burkina Faso, but also set the tone for Africa's debate 30 years after his death.
Les mauvais maris, les paresseux.
Sankara took power in a coup in 1983 and pursued a philosophy of Marxism and Pan-Africanism that led him to be called Africa's Che Guevara after the revolutionary Argentinian philosopher.
Il y en a qui demandent mais où se trouve l'impérialisme. L'impérialisme, regardez dans vos assiettes quand vous mangez les grains de riz, de maïs, de mil importés. C'est ça l'impérialisme. N'allez pas plus loin.
The youthful Sankara held radical thoughts at his time, nationalizing land and mineral wealth, and even instituted unpopular decisions to improve health and education. He famously spoke for debt reduction.
Que la dette soit purement et simplement effacée. Celui qui ne le souhaite pas, il peut sortir, prendre son avion et aller tout de suite à la Banque mondiale payer.
He promoted women into leadership and changed the country's name from Upper Volta. The changes made an impact on Burkina Faso, a landlocked country that produces gold and cotton but remains impoverished.
Thomas Sankara welcomes François Mitterrand to Ouagadougou.
Sankara was killed in unclear circumstances, and his close ally Blaise Compaoré took over power a day after his death. Compaoré has always been blamed for Sankara's death, claims he constantly denied until his ouster in October 2014.
His country's regime of apartheid.
General Gilbert Diendere, seen here in a recent photo, has formally been charged in the Thomas Sankara murder. Sources say he has specifically been charged with complicity in assassination and attack. Diendere was Compaoré's intelligence chief and right-hand man. In September, he led the Presidential Guard in a short-lived coup in which soldiers took transitional President Michael Kafando and the Prime Minister hostage. The coup failed, and in its aftermath, the Presidential Guard was disbanded and Diendere sought refuge at the Vatican Embassy. He was then arrested and charged with murder and threatening state security. He is still in detention. 10 other less senior than Diendere have already been charged. The charge follows a pledge by the transitional government to investigate the murder and a decision in May to exhume the remains of a body believed to be of Sankara's, which was buried at a cemetery on the outskirts of the capital, Ouagadougou. Many African intellectuals view Thomas Sankara as a visionary, on par with Congo's first Prime Minister Patrice Lumumba, who was murdered in 1961, or South African anti-apartheid leader Steve Biko, who was killed in 1977.
Veille à l'engagement de chacun de ses
Lilian Odera, KTN News.